here we go, folks. We're kicking this off. A few minutes in, 2 minutes behind, but that's okay because we're about to get into this breakdown of the latest patch, patch 2.50 for Grand Blue Fantasy versus Rising. Ilsa joining the fight. So if you've not done one of these before with me, I'm gonna go through the patch notes first, and then we'll come back around and talk about Ilsa. We'll go over the character guide, just watch that before we dive into the lab and really figure out what Ilsa is all about. So 2.5, I've not seen a whole lot on this. I've been pretty dark on this patch in general, and we'll see what happens. There's something that kind of bothers me a little bit here. We'll dive into that as we get to it, but for the most part, I am pretty much blind on this patch, so let's take a look. I've seen some folks really upset. We'll see how it all breaks down in patch 2.5, so here we go. We'll skip over the arcade mode as she's going to appear in, as a potential opponent. Survival mode, yes. Storm Rupee, good on that. Journal, fine. Bug fixes. Remove the following character-specific settings in training mode. Redemption stock. Oh. Siegfried's Madigan's recovery and Nier's love redemption stock. Interesting. I wonder why they removed that. Oh. Fixes an issue in online lobbies or play status will remain as spectating on standby even if the opposing player left the standby station. Okay. Could not check communication. Fix issue figure studio. Issue of profile cards. Nope, not worried about those. Let's see. Yeah, some light changes, nothing too significant out here. So anyways, let's dive right into it. System-wide changes. Here's the battle and character adjustments 2.5. In version 2.50, we refined the performance and properties of a wide range of actions to address certain options that were overused and improve overall balance. Our adjustments were centered on 3 key areas: enhancing underutilized skills. Oh boy. Oh boy. Increasing the utility and combo potential of normal attacks, streamlining strategic choices in neutral, and collectively these updates were designed to broaden each character's strategic depth and support a wider variety of playstyles. So we only have Katalina, Lowain, Zeta, Cagliostro, Anre, Siegfried, Lucilius, Vikala, Sandalphon, and Galleon updates here. So pretty small roster of changes. I'm not too disappointed to see this list. I think a lot of the cast is fine. Sandalphon, I'm hoping gets buffs out of this. I think that character could use a little bit of like up-tuning to be a little more viable. Otherwise, a really strong character. Katalina, I'm suspecting gets nerfed here. I'm worried about Siegfried on here. I don't know how much more nerfing he can take. I think he's kind of fine where he is, so I'm surprised to see him. Same for Lucilius. Galleon should probably get buffs here. Same for Vikala. We'll see. Oh man. Buffs. Surprise see Anre. Leave him alone. 6. Leave him alone, but we'll see how this plays. Katalina's the first one. So dive into it. We focused our adjustments for Katalina around enchanted lands to expand her strategic options. Enchanted lands is a versatile tool for poking and combos, but it wasn't always clear which version to use in specific situations. Sure. To clarify their rules, we've updated each version's attributes. The medium version's pre-attack backstep distance has been increased, making it more reliable for evasion and with punishing. The charged heavy version startup has been greatly reduced, so it can now be chained from a counter-hit close standing heavy attack. Whoa. We've also rebalanced her far standing light. While it has been extremely effective as a tool to keep foes at bay, its properties have been adjusted to better align with the rest of her kit. Alright. Lastly, we've standardized light wall startup to resolve an issue where foes couldn't reliably react depending upon the parry timing. Okay. Oops. Alright! I'm pressing the wrong buttons here. Right, so far standing light active frames have been reduced by 3 frames, 6 to 3. Okay. Recovery has been increased by 3 frames. All right. Total frames and frame advantage have not changed due to the combined changes in active frames and recovery. That adds up. Forward hurt box has been added during recovery. This also expands the forward hurt box during frames 6 to 14. Oh, you know what I need to do, actually? Let me get out of here. I forgot hurt box viewer. That's going to be important. We'll get that set up. See if there's an update. There probably isn't, but I will take a look. Oh, very nice. Yeah, there is a whole new update. And we will update that. Don't worry about how I'm doing this. I should have been better prepared, honestly. And it should be good to go. All right, so let's continue reading here. Pushback reduced on crouching light. Travel speed and distance has been increased for dash heavy. Oh, shit. Light wall. The first active frame of the slash attack has been adjusted to be 17 frames after armoring through a foe's attack. Huh. Light wall front step can now be input via the dash button, via back and dash button for back step. That's cool. Enchanted Lands, the light version. Startup has been reduced 16 to 15 frames. Distance of the back step for medium Enchanted Lands is prior to attack has been increased. This also reduces total travel distance and changes hit timing when used from mid-range to further away. The logger pushes Katalina back when blocked in the corner. Counter hit duration before wall bounce occurs has been increased. This will increase the window for her follow-ups. Startup has been reduced 76 to 34. Grounded now causes the foe to fall backwards on hit. Anti-air launch height has been increased. No longer causes guard crush. Block stun reduced by 12 frames, changing frame advantage from +4 to -8, but pushback has been increased. So likely you're still kind of safe-ish. We'll have to fiddle around with that. First frame of armor activation is adjusted 11 to 9 frames for you, Enchanted Lance. All right, so I'm suspicious on the Enchanted Lands. It seems like we kind of got like nerfed out a little bit. For sure we got nerfed on Far Standing Light. That's interesting because that's kind of like her thing, to be such a far counterpoke character, but I think maybe that creates just looking at the frame data, I think it probably is just to create that standardization they're talking about for neutral, where her far medium's 3 frames active, so far light being 3 frames active kind of makes sense here. They functionally kind of work the same, obviously a slower startup on far medium, but yeah, it's interesting, very interesting. All right, the talk of the town, Lowain. Lowain has been a thorn in many people's sides. We'll see what has happened to Lowain. The timing at which the projectile, I'm predicting nerfs, it's gotta be. The timing at which the projectile for Ultimate Sammy and Tommy would stay on screen was too early, making it easy for players for safe situations while ignoring the foe's offense. By increasing this window, poorly timed attempts may be stuffed by incoming attacks, requiring more precise use. For Don't Mind If I Do, players could use it to easily recover the SBA gauge spent on ultimate skills. We've adjusted the appearance rates and values to prevent this skill from turning the tide of battle too drastically. On the other hand, we made it easier to transition from neutral into his various setups for more consistent offense. Close standing heavy now allows follow-ups on counter hit. Far standing heavy on block can be more reliably used to build pressure strings with Sammy and Tommy and other skills. Hitboxes for medium and heavy awesome sauce after the first hit have been expanded for consistency, as it often worked against airborne opponents. 9 frame startup for close heavy. Counter hit, second hit now launches foes. The second hit also launches if the first hit is a counter hit. Okay, nice. Pushback has been increased for far heavy. Dash medium vertical hurt box during recovery has been adjusted to be the same as when crouching. Don't Mind If I Do. Corn. HP has been increased. Appearance odds increased. So just minor health increase. Restoration for meat has been reduced from 1200 to 1000. Odds reduced to 20%. All right, little flip flop there. Pasta HP restoration is 2000 now instead of 2250. Salad appearance odds reduced to 20%. Okay, parfait reduced to 16%. Oh, SBA gauge increase has been reduced from 30 to 16%. Good lord, what a cut needed. Appearance odds have been increased to 20%, however, so that's reasonable. That's a fair exchange. They cut it in half, but they doubled the appearance rate. So, all right, that basically evens out math-wise. Not bad. Projectile now disappears. Lowain is hit during the first 24 frames. Good. First 13 frames, including the slow effect. Vertical hitbox of Come At Me Bro for the third hit onward has been expanded upwards to be the same as when crouching. Hitbox after landing the first hit has been expanded upwards. This is to reduce situations with a second and onward whiff. After landing the first hit as an anti-air. Frame advantage on hit and block have been standardized. Distance from foe after block has been reduced for Moment of Truth. Also disbands the HPA. Frame advantage even after a block string has been standardized to -6, so a little easier to punish HPA on block if you survive. I think you should be rewarded for that, so that's pretty good. Try This On for size can now be canceled at any time by pressing the skill button. Total frames when canceling early is 66 frames. This is longer than if the skill ended normally. Interesting. That's really cool that he's got a cancel now for Come At Me All. Really fascinating. Hitbox at the landing first. Yeah, that was awesome sauce. Total frames canceling earlier is longer than the skill ended normally. So there's still a massive recovery. It's still a commitment. Earth Pillar. Recovery has been reduced by 9 frames. Block stun is reduced by 9 frames. This is Yggdrasil setup. Projectile now remains even if Try This On for size ends while it's on screen. That's so interesting that you could cancel Try This On for size or the SBA. Like, I wonder the utilization of that. It seems so risky, but time will tell. I think Lowain definitely got a good little hit. I don't think it's as substantial as some folks may have probably wanted, but that's the thing about these patches, that so often they take little chips away at some of the outwardly strong tools and see what they can do to just eke out enough to really kind of balance out the game, as opposed to making drastic changes, which I think is commendable. Zeta The most significant change we made for Zeta was to Ultimate Spear of Arvis. Due in part to the powerful wall bounce follow-ups upon mid-screen hit, there was a trend toward high usage of the alt version. Yeah, literally, that's all. I just did a set the other day against a few Zetas that were like, did I touch you? Alt, or just neutral was their alt. We adjusted it to reduce the wall bounce distance at mid-screen, limiting its follow-up potential. Good. In exchange, reduce. That's the thing. This scenario here, and I'm glad that the theming is kind of just like making adjustments for rewards. Like, I breathe and I get hit with alt. Like, I got to be ready for that. And that's kind of ridiculous. In exchange, reduce recovery on block and increase pushback. Now make it a lower risk option for closing in on foes. Cool. We've also adjusted difficulty of Zeta's combos, a long-standing hurdle for the character. By refining hitboxes and timing windows across key combo routes, we've made her gameplay more consistent across playstyles. High difficulty combo routes will result in greater damage and or positional advantage, preserving her depth while lowering the barrier to entry. Additionally, medium Spear of Arvis has been notably strengthened relative to the light and heavy versions, improving long-range approaches and combo routing. We've also adjusted startup and recovery for Spear of Arvis midair, Infinite Wonders, and crouching medium to improve her overall stability in neutral. High jump travel height has been reduced to match regular jump height, increased travel speed and distance for forward high jump. They've never done that before. That's interesting. Crouching medium startup has been reduced to 8 frames. Start reduced for dash heavy to 17 frames. Jump heavy, hitbox, and hurtbox during active frames 7 to 9 have been expanded forward. Infinite Wonders light and recovery has been reduced by 4 frames, changing advantage to -3. Recovery has been reduced by 4 frames, changing frame advantage to -3 for Infinite Wonders medium. Launch height has been increased, no longer causes wall bounce in the corner. And counter hit lateral knockback increased. Counter hit now causes wall bounce mid-screen. Wall bounce rebound distance in the corner has been increased. Interesting. Startup reduced to 16 frames for the heavy version of Infinite Wonders. Recovery has been reduced by 4 frames. Combined with start reduction, total frames reduced by 6, so 57 total frames. Got it. Block stun for the second hit has been reduced by 2 frames. Combined with recovery reduction, frame advantage has been reduced by 2 frames from -5 to -3. Knockback on the second hit has been adjusted, increasing the range at which wall bounce occurs. Wall bounce rebound distance increased, same for the medium version. Spear of Arvis, startup reduced to 9 frames. That's the rise. Falling Spear of Arvis, the airborne one, is reduced to 16. Spear of Arvis heavy, second follow-up, hit stun for horizontal diagonally upward. Hits. Has been increased by 60 frames. So from 60 to 120. Now causes wall bounce at horizontal diagonally upward hits. Arvis medium, initial travel speed has been increased. Now decelerates during movement. Total travel distance has been increased. Lateral knockback increased as well. With Alt Spear of Arvis, we're finding damage has been increased from 1000 plus 200 times 5 to 1500 to 200 times 5. Change total damage from 2000 to 2500. Nice. Recovery from the first hit has been reduced by 2 frames, changing frame advantage from -6 to -4. Wall bounce rebound distance has been reduced. Duration before wall bounce occurs. Well, you get more advantage on block. Okay. Hitbox registering close range hits has been expanded. Rise, Spear of Arvis, hitbox registering close range expanded. Same for the low. For Crimson Cleave, the Rhapsody light medium heavy follow up. Startup has been reduced to 13. Recovery has been reduced by 1 frame, changing frame advantage from -9 to -8. Forward travel speed and distance has been increased. Lateral knockback reduced, while launch height has been increased. Pushback has been reduced. Midair hit stun has been reduced by 30 frames from 60 to 30. Recovery has been reduced by 1 frame, changing frame advantage from -9 to -8. Duration before wall bounce occurs has been Excuse me. It's getting chilly. It's getting chilly. Lateral knockback reduced for Rising Split, the light medium Rhapsody follow-up. Hello, Shyheart. Damage has been increased. Hold on. Strike invulnerable for 8 frames has been used after armoring a foe's attack. Whoa. Rising Split. Why did I say light slash medium here? Would it's light? It's Rhapsody light. Or does it just mean the light medium? I see what it means. Okay, never mind. Damage has been increased from 14 to 1600. So, yeah, definitely positive changes for Zeta, for sure. I don't think she really... I mean, I guess her place on the roster... This is one thing I think we need to remove our mindset of, and I think I'm kind of guilty of it, is... because the character isn't winning something, that means they're not viable, or like they're definitely not doing well. I think Zeta was probably in a good spot, but I don't know, she's been hit twice, or no, she's been hit once, and then to buff her again, I guess to make her more potent. Seems alright. I do like that there is wall bounce off of the Spear of Arves. Like, this is really cool because it adds more versatility to that. And I do like that they shortened the wall bounce distance here for Ultimate Spear to Arves in neutral. That makes sense. Alright, moving on. Cagliostro. This is a character I didn't expect to ever see get hit by something other than to be risen up through the ranks again. Due to the impact of specific skills and actions, Cagliostro's game plan often became one-dimensional. Okay. We've adjusted her kit to promote more varied, proactive play that better leverages her full range of options. Major change this time targets the synergy between Mihen, far-standing heavy, and heavy spare body while grounded. When used together, these tools proved overly oppressive. We reduced Mihen's duration, increased recovery times to rein in their combined strength. Conversely, we've introduced numerous tweaks to encourage new tactics and playstyles, especially for previously underused skills. The hit stun of the first hit of close-standing heavy has been adjusted, making it easier to route into heavy Mihen or medium calculated. Okay. View calculated now causes a ground bounce on hit, enabling stronger follow-ups to continue pressure. We've also revised the conjuring and activation of collapse with improved frame advantage. It can serve more reliably as an offensive starter on both hit and block. The aerial version's landing recovery has also been reduced. With these improvements to flow and stability, she can now construct offense from a much wider wheel of options. I don't know if she needed help with offense, but now causes the opponents to fall backwards when only connecting with the first hit. That's on increasing its stun duration. Does not cause the opponent to fall backwards when connecting the second or third hits. Recovery has been increased by 4 frames for far heavy. Change your frame advantage from -5 to -9. Yeah, buddy. Get cooked. Hurt box during active frames has been expanded upwards for 2U. Lateral knockback reduced. Landing recovery. Has been reduced by 5 frames from -5 to 0 for conjure midair. The first frame after landing can still only be spent blocking. Collapse fire ground. Startup reduce has been increased to 19. Wow. Hit stop on the second hit has been increased by 3. Yeah, so they just increased the hit stun for each level of collapse. Trap duration has been reduced from 560 seconds to 320. 380 to 320 for Alt Mihen. The whole second reduced. Not bad. Cagliostro now begins to fall 9 frames earlier. Oh, that's the Mihen midair. And forward tracking range and distance have been increased for like the heavy calculated. Second hit causes ground bounce. Launch height when hitting high for all hits except the final hit has been reduced for U Alexandria. Hitbox has been expanded upwards, making it more difficult to whiff. Due to the above changes, distance from foe on hit has been reduced. Block stun has been reduced by 6 frames, changing frame advantage from 2 frames to -4. So a slight touch on nerf, but for the most part, does seem like they want you to use more tools, specifically collapse. That I understand. Collapse almost never gets used anymore, if at all, really. Elsa kind of does it sometimes, but not really. Anre! The Ewan McGregor of Grand Blue Fantasy versus Rising. Previously, Anre could lock foes down using frame advantage from certain skills and his SBA. As part of this round of adjustments, we've shifted that power towards mid-range pokes and with punishment. This is something that I want folks to take note of. This is a very important sentence right here. As part of this round of adjustments, this has always been the way that Cygames has updated their game. They do it incrementally. They don't just dump you with the whole change list right away. It takes time to see where things settle. And that's exactly what they're doing here. I would like to assume. And we shall see. I think that just gets lost sometimes. Like, this round, don't worry, it's what we got in now, but next time we're going to get more, or we'll just make adjustments based on how this plays. Kind of like the test to see what's going on. Seven Spears of Lightning has also been updated, that he now loses spears upon taking damage. Oh no, I should have read further. In addition, aerial mantra wheels block recovery has been standardized to -3 across all versions. Make it harder to force strike throw 50-50s. Yeah! Yeah! Now launches on hit. Create new routes for landing pressure or follow-ups when using the heavy version. Spiral Spear has been tuned to improve its combo potential. The medium version now launches on hit, allowing for follow-ups even after Astral Piercer. For the U version, Anre now stops close to the foe, resolving an issue where it would whiff at close range. We've also reduced the startup on Light Rakshaka to bolster mid-range control and adjusted Light Feeding Spark to make it more effective in neutral and range. There's got to be something more to it because I saw Curry Dooming and I saw Redeemer upset. There's got to be something more to this. Jumping heavy now hits twice. Damage has been changed from 1,500 times 2. Second hit can be blocked crouching. 7 Spears Lightning will fire after the second hit. Arn the Bastion now stops in place when inputting Standing U, or evade after successfully parrying a foe's attack. I hit replay on that playlist, but we jumped to Ninja Gaiden 4. kind of a banger. I think I get this game physically. Actually, now that I think about it, I should do that. Where am I at? One Rift Spear is now invincible until the second active frame when activated after successfully pairing with Arm the Bastion. Really? Hitbox at the base of the spear has been expanded upwards while foes and hit stun for light Rashaka. Really? Gets it harder to whiff when used as part of a combo. I see. Startup has been reduced from 22 to 19. No longer negates projectiles from ultimate abilities. Skymonarchs are super. Yes! Yes! Now clashes with projectiles other than those listed above. Only clashes with the first hit of multi-hit projectiles such as certain age skills. Yeah! Yeah! What do you mean you get to be like, no, don't do... I don't know, man. I don't know what you... I don't know. But also, yeah, he just had such a tool that was just like, you don't get these projectiles anymore. But that's just the light version. So you have to commit to medium. And medium is what? Oh. Oh no. Retract my statement. Man, that sucks to be an on-ramp. Well, hold on. You still get it if you do medium. But it's 40 frames. Or 20 if you do the heavy. And then light you only clash? Yeah, okay. I don't see that as a problem for literally anyone else. Might be yeah, this is just Anre dooming. Let's see. Damage has been increased from 150 times 5 to 200 times 5. Change total damage from 750 to 1,000. Grounded now launches on hit. Launch height of the 5th hit has been increased. Oh my gosh. You know what I forgot to do? Again? I'm such a fool. Such a fool! Fortunately, we've only had that up for 37 minutes. Doggone it, dude. I've been streaming this for so long. Ah! I'm the worst. Oh no. I am the worst. It's not even showing me on the page now. Son of a gun. Oh, way to mess up. Don't worry. Don't worry, we're fine. Everything is fine. It's not fine. Start over at 37 minutes. Not a chance, dude. Not a chance. I'm gonna refresh until I show up on the page. Ain't gonna happen. I don't think it happens. Everyone go to Expedition 33 now. But no, I did not set that up at all. Oh, man. Well, it does say that I forgot to change the title. And yeah, it says I got the category. Oh, there we go. It's there at the bottom. Fantastic. Fantastic. Just 40 minutes of, you know, already reviewing. Anyways, back to Anre. And frankly, we go back to the playlist because, like, what the heck? Yeah, I don't know why I didn't loop the playlist because I told it to, but whatever. All right. Stronger hits. Use Spiral Spear projectile that stops the enemy's position. Maximum projectile travel distance remains unchanged. Damage has been increased from 800 to 1300 for Astral Piercer. The startup has been increased 13 frames to 19 frames. Recovery has been reduced by 2 frames, changing frame advantage from -6 to -4. Lateral knockback reduced, while ground bounce height has been increased. Ground bounce height has been further increased for the heavy Spiral Spear follow-up. No longer pushes Anre back when blocked in the corner. Travel speed and distance have been increased. Lateral knockback for the first through third hits has been decreased, making it harder to whip before the fourth hit. Anti-air behavior has been adjusted to make all hits easier to land. That's Mantra Wheel. Now launches on the last hit for anti-air. Hit stop for all hits, but the final one have been adjusted to 2 frames, while the final hit has been adjusted to 14. Pushback on the final hit has been increased. Mid-air Mantra Wheel. What's the first one that got changed up? That's what we were talking about. We're talking, yeah, to -3 across all versions. Yeah. Let's go. Take our turn back, baby. He was so good with that. Landing recovery has been increased by 4 frames, changing frame advantage from 1 to -3. Yeah, everything just -3. Mid-air block stun has been increased by 3 frames. Pushback on mid-air block has been increased. Anre now decelerates has been blocked. Fleeting spark light startup reduced from 29 to 21. Parry frames have been reduced 3 to 14 to 3 to 11. Travel speed and distance prior to the strike have been increased. 7 Spears of Lightning now consumes 2 spears whenever Anre takes damage or on throw break. Only consumes spears once per combo. Really? Really? So you don't get to extend after. Fascinating. That I feel like that means that you don't get to extend any further. Like you don't get to go for your full combo route, and you'll have another sequence of spears available. All right. I don't think this is terrible. This does suck that he doesn't get to be oppressive. with light spear anymore against projectile characters. But this makes him less potent full screen, which sucks. His strike throw potential had a lot of reward as far as like going for mantra wheel. I think this does suck for Anre players for sure. But a lot of Anre players would have us believe that he was already struggling to begin with. I don't know, man. I think this probably kind of normalizes him a little bit more. And we'll see how the rest of the cast kind of settles. I think that's going to be an important factor about the whole health of the game for this character just being in the state that it's in. Have mantra wheel at -3 means that if I do end up blocking, then I get my turn back. Like, you're safe, but I get to apply pressure. You don't get to just keep pressuring after. But the mid-air version, though. Only mid-air. We'll have to definitely take a look and see if the height dependency is a thing as well. See if we can make it safe on block in any other position. Just like we could before. But I think it's bad, but you know, I think it's just going to take some adjustments. Like the Siegfried complaint off of the non-2M follow-up. Like, yeah, that sucks, but also make some adjustments. Your character's still going to be just fine. 6! Character I think did not need touching, but here we are. While 6 was designed to excel in close quarters combat, we made significant adjustments to expand his mid-range offense, compensating for his close reach while preserving his identity. Centered on heavy empty hand, we reviewed his overall neutral and combo structure. For heavy empty hand, we increased the retreat distance and adjusted startup so it scales with movement, slowing down the further he travels. Really? It now forces a crouching hit stun state on hit, enabling follow-ups like close standing light. It also can be chained into from a counter hit dash heavy, wow, an anti-air crouching heavy, spending its role as a combo piece. That's huge for him, actually. That's really cool. Empty hand has more use instead of just block stun. That's sick. Additionally, light, medium, heavy, empty hand now grant invincibility during the dash, making them harder to interrupt with normals and more reliable for closing distance through pokes. Really? However, there are no changes to the post-wall clicking situation if the follow-up attack is evaded. Foes can handle the same way as before. Are we thinking of the same thing? The first hit of dash heavy can now be cancelled on hit or block, improving its utility as a range approach. Jumping U has faster startup and now launches on hit, making follow-up pressure easier. Demon Step and New Perspective can now be cancelled into from normal moves. Oh, that's so sick! Enabling combo routes from crouching heavy. Conversely, New Perspective is now disadvantageous on block, making turn shifts more likely. Interesting. Six Claw Execution, Snakebite, and Gated Demons have been reworked to serve as mid-range pokes and offensive starters. Oh, yeah, because Six Claw definitely needed that. We've also split the roles of light, medium, gated demons, clarifying them as projectile and advancing options to strengthen both as neutral game and combo potential. Dash Heavy second hit now only activates on close counter hit. Damage has been adjusted from 500 plus 1500 to 1200 plus 0. Okay. First hit can now be canceled on hit or block. Second hit can only be canceled on hit. Hit stun on the first hit has been reduced by 2 frames to 20. Launch on airborne foes has been slightly increased. Block stun on the first hit has been reduced by 2 frames, changing frame advantage from -8 frames to -10 frames. Clash level on first hit has been reduced. Second hit now causes crumple state. Second hit no longer increases SBA gauge. Wait. Interesting. Recovery on second hit has been increased by 15 frames. Startup reduced for JU to 18 frames. Now launches on hit. Midair hit stun. Has been reduced by 4 frames from 18 to 14 frames, and pushback on block has been increased. Oh, fun. Demon Step can now be canceled into from a normal attack, which is sick. Can now be canceled to from normal attack. Recovery after teleporting has been increased by 4 frames, changing frame advantage from 2 to -2. Okay, so DPE throw. Pretty tight window. Midair hit stun has been reduced by 6 frames. Bug fix for 6 Claw. Fix an issue where follow-ups could not be performed after connecting late. Hitbox has been expanded upward when hitting a foe at height. Light 6 Claw startup has been reduced to 12 frames and 18 frames. Travel speed and distance have been increased for medium 6 Claw. In order to reduce cases where this change results in whiffing on airborne foes, 6 now decelerates when close to the foe. Travel speed and distance for Archdemon Kick has been increased. Snake Bite travel speed and distance increased as well. Jump height prior to attack has been increased. Startup has been decreased from 30 to 23 frames. Active frames have been increased by 3. This is to ensure a hit on crouching foes at the end. Okay. Frame advantage when blocked has been changed to -4. Frame advantage when blocked crouching is 1. Pretty good, Tama. How about yourself? This now causes a ground bounce for medium snake bite. Okay, combo limit value increased from 0 to 2. All right, that kind of makes sense there. So Archdemon Kick is just forward button and then, yeah. Yep. Thunder Flash, charge. Now tracks the foe after jumping. Jump height and aerial time have been increased. Yes, she is out. Ilsa is out. We'll be going over that once we wrap up the 2.5 notes. Can no longer midair block after jumping. Oof. Tough. Hitbox reverse to active frames of gated demons has been expanded downward, making it easier to hit crouching foes. Sick. Rebound distance when attacking has been reduced, changing frame advantage from -4 to -1. Counter hit advantage frames have been reduced. Combined with the rebound distance change above, frame advantage on counter hit has been increased by 1 frame. We just heard this one. Or I like blasted through this. Counter hit advantage frames have been reduced. Yeah, we got that one. Start reduced 29 to 20 for medium gated demons, and travel distance also slightly reduced as a result of the change. Landing on hit and whiff have been standardized 16 frames. Increase the whiff by 2 frames. On hit, later recovery on hit has been increased by 5 frames. Okay. Increased launch height. Travel speed for alt gated demons now decelerates when foes in hit stun at close range. Midair gated demons now causes ground bouts, making follow-ups easier. Fun. Projectile duration has been increased by 32 frames. Wow, so it's only active for 41 instead of 70. That's not bad. Hitbox has been expanded upward. That's just an adjustment for empty hand. Universal, rather. Now invincible during dive motion of empty hand. Clash level has been increased. That's crazy. So the snipe is invincible. So what, I just gotta block it? Is that where we're at? I can't DP it? If I make a solid reaction. Oh, frame advantage when hitting your foe's feet is changed from 4 to 0. Lateral knockback decreased. Oh man. While launch height has been increased. Midair hit stun has been decreased by 8 frames. Anti-air lateral knockback has been decreased. Launch height increased. Yeah, same as the other ones. Downforce is crouching on hit for a heavy empty hand. Okay. 6 runes enlightenment after image hitboxes have been expanded, making them harder to whiff. This dude got all sorts of adjustments. I think it'll be more fun in the mid screen. This is a massive overhaul of 6. I think we're gonna have more combo routing for the character. I think it just makes him better overall for in terms of offense. Gives you more usage for 6 claw, or not 6 claw, empty hand, which is kind of surprising. Yeah, interesting. We'll have to see how unsafe it is, because like that seems like a pretty good neutral skip there for 6. All right, about halfway through Siegfried up next. This character, we've reviewed Siegfried's kit to ensure he retains high damage output from his heavy starters. In particular, we've expanded his options upon landing far heavy and adjusted its behavior on hit and block. Far heavy now deals more damage, oh god, and its proximity block range has been widened to bolster his mid-range presence. To better enable pressure strings from far heavy, we've also tuned Verdragon. The light version has increased forward speed and reach, strengthening its utility as a poke. The uncharged medium version frame advantage has been improved from -4 to 0, and travels farther for smoother pressure. The heavy version launches higher on hit, making it easier to chain in additional attack. Netlet Nav now launches on hit. Oh man. Helping Siegfried maintain advantageous spacing. We've also increased the number of projectiles, clashes it can endure, and adjusted its behavior after clashes, improving its value as a mid-range poke and an ultra anti-projectile counterplay. Blood of the Dragon, which consumes half the current HP to grant a buff, has been strengthened to boost movement, speed, and attack power, providing a clear advantage in neutral once activated. For self-buff, Malignance. How do you say that? Hold on. There's a Cambridge dictionary for that one. Noun. Manigance. Manigance. There have been some strange goings on in that house. Fascinating. I have no idea how to say that till now. Remove the time limit. The effect now persists until the end of the... What? Hey! 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 Whoa! Whoa! That's a big deal. Yo, we might be going back to Siegfried. Hold on. What? I mean, oh my god. Conversely, we reduce the reliability of SBA and SSBA from long range, shifting focus toward use while in neutral. Damage increased 1400, 1600 for far heavy. Proximity block range increased. Dash medium hurt box during recovery has been expanded forward. Sick. Launch height for the first hit has been increased. Anti-air second hit now causes ground bounce. No longer hits foes behind Siegfried, the JU. Effect now lasts till end of round. That's insane. HP sacrifice has been increased from 500 to 1000. No HP consumed if activated when already at level 3. Attack power bonus at level 3 has been reduced from 150 to 130. This is insane. He keeps it until for the whole round. Grounded now launches foes on Nella Nav. For the light version, mid-air hit stun has been reduced by 7 frames from 25 to 18. Projectile clash level has been increased from 1 to 2. Projectile now decelerates after clashing and disappears 15 frames later. Pushback has been reduced from the medium. Masager. Close hit range has been standardized to match others. Verdragon hitbox has been expanded upwards, making it easier to hit foes directly above. That's his DP. No, that's the back special. Startup increased to 18 and 19. Launch height has been increased for the heavy Verdragon. Verdragon now freezes time when armoring a foe's attack. Oh my god. Slash startup begins 5 frames after the freeze. Light Orkin has been increased. Medium Orkin startup reduced to 20. Jeez, travel distance increased for Light Orkin. God. Delay prior to the charge has been reduced, and travel distance has been increased for Ultimate Orkin. Schwarzfang, travel speed and distance reduced. Attack power bonus changed to 130 for Below the Dragon. Now increases dash speed. Jump and high jump height are reduced, while forward jump and high jump distance are increased. Startup increased 11 to 14 frames for Resendiz Schwarzblut. That's the SSBA. Yes, indeed. Jesus, this dude got buffed to high hell. Was already solid. They're like, yeah, we're sorry. Make him good again. They got to make money on that Siegfried statue, that's for sure. Lucilius. Adjustments for Lucilius focus on improving the utility of his kit. His blade level is low. By refining the performance of his orbitals and skills, we made him easier to control in neutral, even with limited resources. For orbital resonance, blade level now increases incrementally, starting 31 frames after its activation. While active, his skill cooldown time is halved. Oh, interesting. We've also refined the light and heavy versions to have increased reach to be more effective from afar, while medium versions draw and distance has been enhanced. We further distinguish the roles of medium and heavy Iscaria. The medium version now has faster forward speed and longer reach. Making it stronger has been range approach or combo tool. The heavy version has slower startup but grants Lucilius advantage on block. In return, with recovery has been increased to punish dodge or crossover responses. Wow. Far heavy, the draw-in effect on counter hit has been strengthened, making close standing heavy easier to confirm. Additionally, heavy Iblis now starts up faster and can be chained from a counter hit close standing heavy, making it a reliable punish after blocking invincible moves. Other adjustments such as reduced recovery after the warp for Light Tessera and an expanded hitbox on you Iblis have been made to broaden his neutral options and encourage more diverse offensive gameplay. Jeez, draw distance has been increased. Skill cooldown is now recovered twice as quickly while it's active. So just more incentive to use orbital resonance and more options to get Lucilius up to level 5 faster. Take it away and give a little bit back. Reduce and start with Iblis. Scariot, travel speed, distance have been increased. Travel speed and distance have been reduced. Recovery after warping like Tessera has been reduced by 3 frames, changing total frames from 39 to 36. Not bad. Small buffs for Lucilius. Not bad at all. Great. My villain character, Vikala. The character that you should never choose. But I've seen some shit yesterday and I'm not happy. Vikala was designed to excel in neutral, a dream come true, so we've reduced her vulnerability when switching between items while raising the baseline performance of her moves. That's true. I always say you only lose to Vikala if you're not winning neutral. The appearance odds for items has been adjusted. Ball appears less often, while Spike, Ball, and Bomb appear more often. The overall animation for Dream Come True, Psych is shorter, making her less likely to be countered when switching items. For Dream Attraction Light versions, cannon spawns farther away and faster, making it easier to run pressure from moves like Far Standing Heavy. Conversely, the U version, previously strong for resets, now has slower startup and a reduced backward step after activation to increase risk if evaded. In exchange, now causes wall bounce on hit even at mid-screen, enabling higher damage in more situations. To expand her mid-range pokes, 2M has increased forward speed and reach with reduced recovery. Far Heavy now starts up 10 frames and has less recovery time, improving its utility and combo use. Drop my control. Medium Ring of the Dormouse now starts slower, but accelerates greatly while active to reach far away foes quicker. We've reduced its pushback on hit and total duration on whiff, and adjusted its range so it no longer reaches the screen edge. Wow. That's... Ugh. Other improvements include making Light Rodent Rhythm now hit twice and adjusting its pushback, part of a broader pass to improve the usability of her attacks and skills. Decreased startup to 10 frames for Far and Close Heavy. 2M travel speed, distance has been increased. Speed and distance. Recovery reduced by 4 frames, changing frame advantage from -10 to -6. So we have to use a 5L to try to punish it now. 2H, forward hurt box during active frames and recovery has been shortened. Startup has been reduced 7 to 6 for JM and 8 for JH. Psych total frames reduced by 5, 16 to 11. And earliest cancel has been reduced from 35 to 30. Dream Come True mid-air now toss items upward when input with the back up or down U. Down back U. Vikala now begins to fall 18 frames faster after tossing an item. Okay. Landing recovery has been reduced by 5 frames, changing frame advantage from 5 to 0 for Dream Come True, Psych midair. Ball appearance odds, just appearance odds changed up. So reduced for Ball, increased for Bomb, and increased for Spike. Standardized effects to 500 HP restoration and 10% SBA gauge restoration for both items. Great! Dream Attraction. Fix an issue where performing Dream Attraction with a technical input would occasionally cause skills used afterwards to erroneously behave, so they were used with technical input. Lateral knockback has been reduced. That's the find that we saw earlier. So, yeah. Cannon now appears further away for Light Dream Attraction. You Dream Attraction. This is specifically, if you need the video for this one, check out Khalil's channel. I think he put up a good video describing exactly what went down and how many characters are able to do it. I'm surprised those characters are getting touched. I think that might happen later on, though. I think Belial has that still. Let's just jump to Rotate Rhythm. Now hits twice, except when clashing. Damage has been changed from 900 to 600 plus 300. Startup has been reduced 15 to 14 frames. Now launches on regular hit. Launch height has been increased. Mid-air hit stun on the third hit of medium Rotate Rhythm has been increased by 6 frames, so 24 frames is the final. Launch height on the third hit has been reduced. Now counts as a counter hit for all 3 hits if the first hit counter hits. This increases mid-air hit stun. Ring the Dormouse, all versions. Hurtbox from startup frame 4 through active frames have been shortened. Ring the Dormouse now starts slower and accelerates during active frames. Dormouse should hit at the same time in close range and faster at long range. Oh man. No longer reaches the end of the screen though. Active frames reduced by 6 frames, 20 to 14. Whiff recovery has been increased by 3 frames. Changing total recovery on whiff from 50 to 47, and pushback has been reduced. Marching teeth projectile speed has been increased. Active frames increased. Dormouse no longer disappears if Vikala takes damage from the 23rd frame onwards. Okay. Just trying to make her a little bit more viable without being too much more annoying. Yeah, I just got a video of how Vikala has been working up against Matera, trying to clash projectiles. That video made it to seem a little more overwhelming than what it was. I think it's fine. This is definitely fine. I still don't think you should probably be picking this character to take dubs, but I think she is one step closer to being like tournament viable. I don't think she'd be like, I'm going to win tournament viable though. Sandalphon and Galleon are our last 2, so let's go to Sandy. I'm hoping for bust for this boy. Private Sassy Legs reported for duty. Sandalphon's elementals usage skewed heavily toward fire and light because, yeah, there's no point. In response, we've refined the strengths of water, earth, and wind to clarify their roles in his toolkit. While most changes are focused on neutral, impact on the combo-oriented heavy versions we kept to minimal. For water, light, medium, Gabriel water now hit twice. A sword strike has been added to the start, creating a strike into projectile sequence, much like Regenlave. Okay. The medium version's initial behavior is now standardized with light, improving setups from afar and mid-range deterrents. To prevent excessive pressure, the hurt box has been extended forward from activation through recovery. For Earth, the range of light, medium Uriel's Earth has been greatly extended and retooled as easy-to-use long-range projectiles. Their startup is slower, but both now allow follow-ups on hit and create more advantageous situations even on block. Okay. Now for wind, the backward retreat after light, medium, and heavy Raphael's Gale has been increased to improve their space and utility. The medium and heavy versions now hit 5 times. Backstep, wing aligned, also travels farther, encouraging more position-based gameplay in neutral. Really? Wait a minute. Interesting. Additionally, light first in line has faster startup and a forward expanded hitbox, improving its use as a poke and combo tool. That's the judgment stance, right? Yeah, first in line light, yeah. Increased horizontal knockback on hit makes it easier to link into elemental projectiles. Conversely, we've expanded the hurt box before and after startup and increased startup time for jumping you, increasing the risk when used carelessly. That's good. I wonder if they have it up right now. Oh, wow. Yeah, there's a little bit of risk there. Dash heavy travel speed on hit has been increased, reducing the distance between Sandalphon and the foe. Startup has been increased from 12 to 16 for JU. Travel and distance been increased, or duration and travel distance been increased. Changed from 18 frames to 21 frames. Gabriel's Water. Whoa, no one asked. No one asked. Let's see. Now as a hitbox on the sword animation prior to projectile appearing, changes the attack to a 2-hit strike. Start with the strike is 14 frames, projectile is 17. Damage has been changed from 400 plus 300. Projectile now launches on hit. Hurtbox with strike startup through recovery has been expanded forward. Projectile clash hit count has been reduced from 3 to 1. Now has a hitbox on the sword animation prior to projectile appearing. Oh yeah, so that's the same. Now gradually accelerates the heavy. No longer disappears if Sandalphon takes damage or blocks. Ooh! Gabriel's Water looking good. No longer pushes back when hitting or being blocked in the corner. Uriel's Earth, all versions. The startup has been increased 14 to 32 for light, 14 to 32 for medium. Number of projectile hits increased from 4 to 5. 6 to 5 has been reduced for the medium. Raphael's Gale pushback has been increased. Number of projectile hits has been changed from 2 to 5. Clash count is 1 for Raphael Gale. First in line, startup reduced 20 to 16. Hitbox has been expanded forward. I'm actually really looking forward to seeing how Sandalphon works in neutral. I think this kind of helps his game a little bit. I'm not convinced that we see any stance changes. There's certainly incentive now for Earth and Wind, but I think folks are still going to remain fire by accident or light because the damage output is just fine the way it is. But there is certainly set play potential here for Earth and Wind. Really just kind of bait potential off of Wind if you opt to change for that. Water, I think it's going to be really cool. We'll see. And then last is going to be Galleon here. I suspect that she gets improvements. That's my hope. We've increased Galleon's baseline strength across her normals and skills, with a major rework to Meteorite that greatly increases its utility and variation. Meteorite has been revised, so the medium version now summons a Meteorite directly in front of her, giving her an alternative option for the light and heavy versions, which still track the foe. Interesting. Dropping Meteorite now consumes 2 levels. Dropping Meteorite now consumes 2 levels. But it will remain in position, so when her Meteorite's level 3 or higher, it can be used consecutively. Oh! Pokemon! Sorry. Seen those videos lately. Additionally, while we've added charged versions of Meteorite to allow her to increase its level quickly, we've adjusted the amount gained from the medium and heavy and U versions to prevent excessive suppression from repeated use. We've also improved downward hitboxes for jumping H and U, and adjusted jumping U to now hit 3 times, improving its cross-up utility. Sism's lateral hitbox has been extended for greater reach, and the charged version now causes a crumple state on hit, making follow-ups and pressure after closing in more consistent. (2H) active upward hitbox has been shortened. Active hitbox has been down for JH. JU now hits 3 times. Dash H. Hitbox is expanded backwards. Hitbox has been expanded upwards when hitting the foe at height. This will make it easier to tell when Galleon has hit a foe directly above her. Fair. Lateral hitbox has been expanded for Sism. Sism charged. Now causes a crumple state even when hitting with a Meteorite. Sism is her unique action. For 5U. Well, the hitbox and airbox expanded forward. That's the just 5S. Will of the Earth medium travel speed and distance has been increased, and draw distance has been increased. Bedrock Blast. Reduce the projectile startup to 40 frames. Galleon's fall speed after firing the projectile has been increased, changing the total frames from 76 to 71. Now hits 3 times. Damage has been changed from 1,000 to 400 times 3. Grounded now forces crouching state. Muddy Embrace now tracks the foe when you use at close range. Max travel speed is unchanged. Now tracks foe when used at long range. Max travel speed unchanged. Alright, that's a little more homing on Muddy Embrace, so that's cool. Meteorite all versions. Activating Meteorite now reduces summon meteorites level by 2, which I think is a positive change for setting things up. Gives you more incentive to build the levels of your meteorite setups. Total frames reduced 21. Meteorite level raise has been reduced from 4 to 1. Now summons meteorite immediately in front of Galleon. Charging for more than 35 frames will increase meteorite's level by an additional 1. Fascinating. And that's the 2-2 series in general. They reduced the level raise to 2. Can now be charged, which gives you an additional level. Alright. You meteorite no longer raises meteorite level and reduces the level of any current summon meteorite by 2. No change to the meteorite isn't summoned. Projectile strength, class strength has been increased. Pretty straightforward. I do like the changes to her meteorite setup. I think that's really cool. But that is 2.5. There were some battle-related bug fixes. Farlight can only be repeated 3 times when clashing with another foe's attack. Cool. Fix the issue of Cag's H spare body mid-air. Cause Cagliostro not to face her foe when hitting under certain conditions. Fix issue with Anre, where perform technical input with the following skills that cause technical inputs to be registered at an unintended timing. Fix issue where Anre's 7 Spears of Lightning were canceling a normal attack that would fire a spear into a raging strike. Would consume a spear without firing it. Fix an issue with Grimnir where using a Gale Dash with Grace of the Radiant active while slow by enemy effect would cause the Grace of the Radiant gauge to be consumed twice. Holy smokes. Because you Marching Teeth where the second hit would behave erratically if the foe moved to a large distance between the first and second hits. The second hit may now whiff if the distance from the foe is too large after first. Fixed issue where crouching hurt box for following characters lower than standard. Galleon and Vikala. Galleon? Really? Fix an issue with Sandalphon's light first in line where being hit in recovery will cause Sandalphon to go into counter animation. $2.5. I don't think it was too bad at all. I think we did good. I think big dubs out of this. Honestly, from this cast. Siegfried, huge dubs, I think. Zeta definitely got some dubs here. Vikala a little more potent. I'm curious to see where Sandalphon ends up. I do believe that we got a nice little positive change here for Galleon. Lucilius, it will be interesting. I think he kind of remains the same. Six definitely getting a little bit of a buff here. So this is overall, I think, a pretty solid patch for this cast. We'll see how it all settles in for Arc World Tour Finals, everything going forward. Of course, we do have events that are going on throughout the week. And I'll probably try to jump on a tournament sometime next week, but we'll see. So that being said, let me know in the comments on the YouTube VOD what you think is your favorite or least favorite changes coming for 2.5. But before we wrap things up on the live stream, we got to check out Ilsa, and we're definitely going to do that.